When getting fired becomes your fortune, the unemployment revolution. Black women didn't ask for but are turning into billions. Welcome to soft girl era. The sacred space where strong Black women unlearn survival, rediscover softness, and reclaim the joy, rest, and freedom they deserve. I'm your host, LeAnne Dolce, pronounced Dulce, like sweet softness whispered in French. And I'm your guide from burnout to boundaries, from doing to being, from strong to soft, and loving every second of it. Today, I need to share something with you that's going to flip everything you thought you knew about success, security, and what it means to win in this economy. I recently had the extraordinary privilege of sitting down with Toiya Williams, a visionary entrepreneur and economic justice advocate who is literally rewriting the blueprint for how Black women build wealth, reclaim agency, and transform systemic exclusion into unstoppable economic power. Toya isn't just talking about entrepreneurship as a side hustle or a cute hobby. She's igniting a full scale revolution where Black women are walking away from systems that never valued them and building empires that the world cannot ignore. Her work is creating generational wealth, healing economic trauma, and proving that when you stop waiting for permission from broken systems, you become unstoppable. And what Toya shared with me, what the data screams at us, what these stories prove beyond any shadow of doubt is this. The very thing we've been conditioned to fear most, unemployment, job loss, corporate rejection, getting pushed out, is actually fueling the fastest growing, most powerful entrepreneurial revolution this country has ever seen. Let me say that again because I need this to land deep in your spirit. While the world looks at rising unemployment for Black women and sees crisis, setback, tragedy, something to mourn and fix, the truth, the disruptive, world shaking, system breaking truth is that it's igniting the most explosive wave of Black women owned businesses in American history. Black owned employer businesses grew 56.9% from 2017 to 2022. 56.9%, outpacing every other demographic, every single one. Corporate America couldn't contain us. So we stopped asking for seats at tables that were never built for us. We built our own tables. We built our own rooms. We built our own entire buildings. Now, I already know what some of you are thinking. Unemployment, that's supposed to be good news, sis. Stay with me because what Toya Williams helped me see, what the numbers are screaming, what these women are living and breathing every single day, is that sometimes the system has to push you out before you realize you were never meant to fit in. Sometimes losing the job, getting passed over again, watching them promote someone less qualified, feeling invisible in meetings where you're the most educated person in the room. Sometimes that's the universe, God, your ancestors, whatever you believe in, saying, baby, it's time. It's time to stop trying to squeeze your brilliance into their boxes. It's time to build your own empire. Let's talk about who we're really talking about here. Black women, the most educated demographic in the United States of America. We have the degrees, we have the credentials, we have the late nights, the dissertations, the certifications, the student loans to prove every bit of it. And yet, in November 2025, our unemployment rate sat at 7.1%. By late 2025, it climbed to 7.5%. We are the most educated and we're getting pushed out, laid off, overlooked, and undervalued at rates that should make every boardroom, every HR department, every corporate leader in America deeply, profoundly ashamed. But here's where it gets interesting. Here's where Toya Williams and I started connecting the dots and seeing the bigger picture. While unemployment was rising, while corporate doors were slamming shut, while return to office mandates were clashing violently with our caregiving responsibilities. Because let's be crystal clear, 66% of caregivers in this country are women. Something else was happening, something powerful, something undeniable. Women were launching nearly half of all new businesses in the United States. Women owned firms were generating $3.3 trillion in revenue. Trillion with a T. And the workforce in women owned businesses, it expanded 19.5% from 2019 to 2024. Let me paint you a picture of what this actually looks like. Imagine you're in a room, you've worked hard to get there. You've got the resume, you've got the skills, you've got the vision, and every single time you try to move forward, someone moves the finish line. Every time you raise your hand with the solution, you get talked over. You watch 82 women of color get promoted for every 100 men. You see the so called pattern matching in venture capital that mysteriously always favors male founders. Even though the data shows women owned businesses are growing revenue 56.8% compared to 50% for men owned businesses. You feel the weight of being told you're ambitious, but somehow not quite the right fit. You carry the bone deep exhaustion of being the strong one, the dependable one, the one who never complains, never cracks, never asks for help. And then one day, you stop. You stop trying to fit into their room. You stop shrinking yourself to make them comfortable. You walk out and you build your own. That's exactly what Rachel Blank did. Rachel Blank, a visionary founder and CEO of Alara Health, a telemedicine platform revolutionizing women's health, looked at the corporate lean out trends, the promotion gaps where only 82 women of color were promoted for every 100 men, the return to office mandates that completely ignored her reality as a caregiver, and she said, no more. She didn't lack ambition. That's not what this was about. She redirected her ambition. She took all that fire, all that brilliance, all that drive they tried to contain, and she built an AI driven platform specifically tailored to meet women's health needs. She focused on self funded growth. She refused to wait for venture capital gatekeepers to validate her vision, and she scaled Alara Health into a leading telemedicine firm that is now changing lives, creating jobs, and forcing the healthcare industry to pay attention. Rachel didn't wait for venture capital to see her value. She created so much undeniable value that venture capital had no choice but to come knocking. Then there's Logan Brown, founder of Soxton.ai, an AI powered legal platform that's disrupting an entire industry. Logan entered the entrepreneurial arena at a time when women owned businesses hit 39.2% of all firms in the United States, but venture capital funding for women was actually declining, even as global investing rose 38% overall. The pattern matching still favored male founders. The doors were still closing in her face. The no's were still coming. So Logan bootstrapped. She scraped together resources. She emphasized the unique AI insights her platform brought to legal tech. She leaned into the 62.5% labor force participation rate of Black women and said, if the system won't fund me, I'll fund myself. And she broke through. Soxton.ai became viable, scalable, profitable, undeniable. Logan didn't wait for permission to build, she built proof. And proof is what changes minds, opens doors, and shifts entire industries. And then there's Fei Li, widely known as the godmother of artificial intelligence, a pioneering leader in tech who revolutionized visual AI while women in STEM, particularly Black women, faced brutal underrepresentation, just 14.58%. She faced gender biased venture capital. She faced promotion gaps where only 87 women were promoted to manager for every 100 men. She faced economic shocks and systemic barriers that hit Black women hardest. And she didn't shrink. She didn't disappear. She didn't play small. She founded independent ventures after leaving corporate structures that couldn't contain her vision. She pioneered breakthroughs in AI that are now influencing trillion-dollar industries. She elevated Black women in tech simply by existing at the highest levels, by thriving unapologetically, by refusing to let anyone dim her light. Fei Lee shifted funding patterns and opened doors for an entire generation of women in technology simply by being brilliant, persistent, and unwilling to accept no as a final answer. These women, Rachel, Logan, Fei, they're not anomalies. They're not exceptions. They are the pattern. They are what happens when you stop waiting for a system to choose you and you choose yourself instead. They are what happens when you redirect your ambition from trying to climb a ladder that was designed to keep you on the bottom rung to building your own ladder, your own building, your own entire city. Now, Toya Williams shared something with me during our conversation that I want you to write down, screenshot, save, tattoo on your heart if you need to. She said, start with your real why, not the why you rehearse at networking events, not the why that sounds impressive on LinkedIn, your real why, the one that wakes you up at 3 in the morning, the one that makes you cry in the shower and then makes you come out swinging. Because entrepreneurship, sis, it is not a cute Instagram aesthetic. It's not a side hustle you dabble in when you're bored on weekends. It's a wealth building superpower. It's economic self determination. It's the reclamation of your time, your energy, your legacy. And it requires you to know deep in your bones, in your spirit, in your DNA, why you're doing this. What are you building for? Who are you building for? What legacy are you leaving? What freedom are you creating? Once you've got your bag down there, why? Once you've sat with it and let it become the fuel that powers everything you do, Toya Williams says, keep it simple. Start with a sole proprietorship or a DBA. You don't need a complicated LLC structure with 1,000 moving parts on day one. You need to launch. You need to move. You need to get your idea, your vision, your brilliance out into the world. And here's the part that's going to feel like permission you didn't even know you were waiting for. Soft launch to your warm network, your friends, your sorors, your cousins, your group chats, the people who are already rooting for you, already cheering for you, already ready to support you. You don't need a million followers. You don't need to go viral. You need 10 people, 20 people, 50 people who believe in you enough to buy, to share, to tell someone else. Bypass the corporate barriers, the venture capital gatekeepers, the systems designed to exclude you by building in the spaces where you're already loved, already valued, already seen. And then diversify your funding. Don't sit around waiting for sales alone to sustain you. Bootstrap with savings if you can. Barter services, trade expertise, outsource early to avoid the burnout that so many of us know too well. Leverage that 19.5% workforce growth in women owned businesses to scale sustainably to build something that doesn't require you to sacrifice your health, your peace, your joy. Toya Williams is teaching us that entrepreneurship isn't just about making money, it's about making space. Space for rest, space for softness, space for the version of you that corporate America tried to shrink, silence, and squeeze into submission. Let's zoom out for a second. Let's talk about what this all really means. Because this isn't just about individual success stories, inspiring as they are. This is about a seismic, tectonic, earth shaking shift in how Black women are defining strength, wealth, freedom, and power. For too long, we've been told that strength means endurance, that it means carrying everyone else's load without complaint, that it means saying yes when every cell in your body is screaming no, that it means grinding, hustling, sacrificing until we're dust. But what if strength, real strength, looks like walking away from what's killing you? What if it looks like building something that honors your rest, your boundaries, your joy, your softness? What if the soft girl era isn't about giving up? It's about giving yourself permission to thrive on your own terms, to redefine what success looks like, to choose peace over performance. Toya Williams is helping Black women see that entrepreneurship is not just a survival strategy, it's a reclamation. It's saying I'm the most educated demographic in this country and I'm going to build wealth that reflects that. It's saying corporate America didn't make space for me, so I'm making my own space and I'm inviting my sisters to join me. It's saying I'm not waiting for a seat at a table that was never designed for me. I'm building a whole new table, and everyone who sits there will be seen, valued, and celebrated. And here's the thing that gets me every single time, the data backs this up. Women owned businesses grew revenue 56.8% from 2019 to 2024, faster than men owned businesses. Black owned employer businesses grew 56.9% from 2017 to 2022, faster than any other group. We're not just surviving, we're thriving. We're not just participating in the economy, we're reshaping it, redefining it, revolutionizing it. So let me ask you this: what's your real why for staying in a system that's actively pushing you out? What's keeping you in a job that doesn't see you, doesn't value you, doesn't make space for your brilliance, your vision, your magic? Is it fear? Is it the belief that entrepreneurship is too risky, too hard, too uncertain, too overwhelming? Because, sis, let me tell you something. Staying in a system that's designed to exhaust you, exploit you, and extract everything from you while giving you crumbs in return, that's the real risk. That's the gamble. That's the uncertainty. This is your moment. This is your soft girl era. This is where you drop the cape. This is where you redefine strength as the courage to rest, to say no, to build something that honors every part of you. This is where you stop surviving and start thriving. This is where you turn unemployment into opportunity, rejection into redirection, exhaustion into empire. What are you going to build? What are you going to reclaim? What vision are you going to soft launch to your circle this week? Not next month, not next year, this week? Because the world is not just waiting for your vision. The world desperately needs it. And you, sis, you are more than ready. You've always been ready. Now it's time to move.